What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today, I am starting the Starship Troopers series. This has been one I watched a lot as a kid. Like, they always played them on the Sci-Fi Channel, like, all three of them. So, I've seen all three. I just don't really remember the last two. But that first one, and I always watched it, and it was like, oh, people killing bugs. And I didn't know it was a book until way later. And when I found out it was a book, and only recently have I read the book because it's on YouTube, and I'm on chapter 4, I think. Gotta say, the book is a lot more serious. Rico is much done differently. A lot of things are different so far, but I'm actually happy the movie did the way it did in a way because it's like it sets it apart, and just this world I like. I love the fucking opening, like where it's an ad to join the Federation and killing bugs. And I'm gonna say it, the special effects actually hold up well. I was like watching it today, and I was like thinking, like, yeah, the bugs look really good. And well, it's because of the lighting. This was back when they understood lighting. Like, if you're gonna do a lot of CG, and I think there's definitely some CGI, but they understood if you're gonna do that, you gotta light it right. And the lighting they got right because the bugs look really fucking good, especially even in like the space scenes look good. And even like the bug scenes where it's like the big ones, like the giant fucking ones. I love the aesthetic of the movie. I mean, just iconic. I'm doing my part. That fucking scene is just so iconic. Um, Great characters, Rico, Carmen, Ace, Dina Meyer's character, like they all were great. Like, fucking Michael Ironside, he's so good in the movie as General Raxus. Could be pronouncing his name wrong, but he was fucking great. The gore, man, I forgot how gory this movie was. Like that scene where the bug sprayed like the flames and he burned the dude alive, or when Rax's death when he fucking gets his legs like chopped off. It's like, and people getting impaled with the fucking bug legs. I'm like, yeah, this movie's pretty violent. Like even fucking Carmen, when they're in the cave, she's like impaled, and it is. There's a part of me that's like, she probably should have fucking died, not escape. Like that's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood in this part of the body. Like pretty sure she would be bleeding. I get it. It's a movie. So, but yeah, it's they don't hold back on the violence. I didn't remember. I just forgot how violent this movie was. I love the bugs. I love that they kind of explain everything. I kind of like that they go into detail and they do it in a way which is funny and creative. Let's do these military ads because in this world, they're basically almost done like old school war fucking um propaganda videos. They're done like that, and I love it. It's fucking awesome. Like, cause it almost makes it feel real in the world's lived in. And I think that's an aspect about that's one thing about sci-fi in general. Like I really like is if you can get that aspect where the world's lived in and I can feel it, and they definitely do it with this movie. I mean, with infantry, even like with because there's infantry, there's also fucking uh fucking working on the fleet, which is cool, and you kind of get to see the differences between the two. Like, I really like this movie. I forgot like how like world building wise this good this movie is. Like they really world build with this to where yeah, you could do a sequel. There's a lot of good characters. Yeah, Jake Busey as Ace. He starts off as a douchebag. Like he kind of starts off like his first scene is he cuts fucking he cuts Rico, but then they eventually become friends. It's just a well done movie with good characters. That's just something I kind of just it was nice to watch because I should have mentioned this, but I watched The Flash not in theaters. I'm gonna always make sure I say that not in theaters, but I watched The Flash and holy fucking shit, Rise of Beasts is worse, but this is almost up there. So I'll be roasting that tomorrow Spoilers and all. A lot of the spoilers are out there. I mean, it's not. I won't say them here, just because. Sorry, fucking hell. Sorry, just looking for some. Um, but I won't say them here. But now back to Starship Troopers. I just love this movie, and I'm definitely gonna go back to watching this more because yeah, just the bugs look really good. Like they really did good with it, even in like the light, and because there's some scenes when they go to the bug planet, it's sunlight, like so it's direct light, and they look good. Like it doesn't look like shit for 1997. I mean, to be fair, Lost World came out the same year, so it's like, and this is definitely gonna be on my when I do 1997 list. This will be on there for sure. So I don't know where, but this will definitely be on the list for sure. Because yeah, this is a great one. Just the world building alone, they really did a good job with. When you can world build, it gets me into your into your movie, into your world very much. Because like I said, it feels lived in. So if I were to give this film out of 10, maybe 9.5, almost a 10 out of 10 movie, I really love it. Um, it's a little, it's a little hokey at times, but it's a great movie. Fucking 90s Denise Richards. I mean, come on. It's a fucking great movie. The co-ed shower scene, come on. It's like, this is just when movies could be fun. And that's kind of what it was. Just, it was a fun little flick about people killing bugs. And you actually get it doesn't feel like a B movie, dude. They actually make it feel like a big deal. Like, it doesn't feel like, I like some B movies, but they do it in a way where it does feel like a big deal. So, but like I said, tomorrow I'll be roasting The Flash, spoilers and all. Holy shit. The fact that this film was supposed to come out in like 2016 and that's what we got. This was announced in like 2015 or 2016, so 7, 8 years ago, and this is what you fucking give us? Really bad CGI. Like the CGI, dude, is I joked that the CGI is pretty much, this is easily worse than, if you remember Justice League, Henry Cavill's must, and this is easily worse than that. Like the whole movie is that. Like there are just points where I'm like, I can't even look at it. The CGI is just bad. Like every scene, and the fact that Andy Machete is trying to come out and say like, oh, the CGI and the Speed Force. I'm like, it's not even just the Speed Force scenes I'm even talking about. I'm like the scenes where you just look at Zod or just you fucking look at Supergirl in her costume. That's gonna be the thumbnail of the video. Is I got this. I saw it on Twitter, but this shot of Supergirl and it looks awful. It is like what? How is this 2023? And this is 10 years. I mean, I know some people don't like the movie, but Man of Steel looks incredible still today. How the fuck can that still look good? But you can't. We're 10 years later, and this is what you do. You make Man of Steel look like Man of Steel was CGI, of course, but they make the CGI look good. And the CGI in this is awful. Like every scene, it was bad. It was anyway. I'm gonna go into I'll talk about that tomorrow. So I want to keep it positive here. Is I actually really like this movie, Starship Troopers. Thankfully, I was able to watch this later, so at least I had something I knew. That's why I had to watch. I was trying to watch. Thankfully, The Flash was uploaded today, or no, it was up. It was up yesterday. I saw, but thankfully it was up early, so I can like, okay, we can just knock The Flash out the fucking way, and then I know later we'll be watching Starship Troopers. So, but yeah, so I'll be doing that. I'll try to do the wrestling video on Saturday, and then Sunday I'm gonna watch The Blackening, because there's a couple people in my chat who wanted me to watch that, so I will. It's one of those, if they can just make it a self-aware movie, that could be great, but I don't think it will be. I have a feeling it's just gonna be trash, but we'll see. But anyway, so we'll get into the Starship Troopers. So the movie opens. I love how we just immediately get like I kind of like how they do it. Like they don't you don't get this long like just I mean it's dialogue, but when I look at exposition and dialogue is somewhat different. Exposition to me is when you're just throwing dialogue out, but it's pointless, and you just just have someone just to me exposition is just have guy blurt out lines. What they do here is like let's do this news thing and have you want to join the Federation and give you all this information that way before we actually start the movie. I love how they did it. It's awesome. Like it almost feels like I'm not just watching a movie. Like simply in a sorry. In a way, it's almost like they make you feel like you're part of the movie with all these ads. Like join the Federation today. It's like it's talking to the audience. Like you don't just feel like and I mean, this is definitely something I've noticed now. I mean, because I watched as a kid. As a kid, you're just watching. I was just watching them kill bugs. But watching this now, it's like I'm just pointing that out. Like that's fucking cool. Like you feel like you're part of the fucking movie. It's not just I'm just watching a movie about people killing bugs. I feel like I'm part of it because they're asking me to like join the Federation. They give you the background, like the lore around it. And it's done in a way too where you can understand it, but it's also not just a bunch of exposition just being blurted out. So this is where we meet Rico. His parents don't want him joining, or more his dad doesn't want him to join the Federation because they're seen kind of as bad. Along with his girlfriend Carmen, and I love the scenes in the school too. I love the little build up before we actually have them go into battle. Like they even show you this the scenes. I'm not gonna lie, I can usually take a lot of gross shit in movies, but that scene where they were fucking basically doing uh carving out bug intestines, that grossed me out. I'm not gonna fucking lie, that grossed me out. They really did a good job with the props department there, because when that came up, I was like, ugh. Like I don't normally get all like shit like that about shit. But I'm like that scene specifically. Okay, that was fucking gross. I was like, okay. So she ends up joining Fleet, and he ends up becoming joining the infantry. And because of it, I love like the scenes where they arrive, and this is where we meet General Raxus or Roughneck, whatever. And so they join the Roughnecks. The fucking training scene is fucking iconic. Clancy Brown is so fucking good as the general. He's like the main general throughout the film, and Michael Ironside is like one of them, but he's pretty much Clancy Brown's the big head in this scene for the most part. Jenkins, Neil Patrick Harris's character. I think he's one character I kind of wanted more of because we saw him mainly more in the school scenes. Because I mean, he doesn't join infantry, so that's probably why he doesn't end up joining infantry with Rico. I think that's why we don't see a lot of them. Because they definitely, I would argue, infantry is mainly the focus of the movie. Yeah, you do see a bit of like what the fleet do, and how they do it there, but it is definitely more of an infantry. Because I mean, even like the training scenes and a lot of that, like it's more infantry focused. Um, so because of that, Carmen breaks up with um Rico, and you feel bad for the dude. Like Rico is a good character you follow throughout the film. Like you genuinely feel bad for his character, what he's going through. And then that scene when she sees him, he brings her new man, and they end up getting in a fight. I fucking love it. It's good characters. That's all I want. For me, that's all a movie just has to be, is just have good characters you can follow. Like all of them. Like yeah, like I said, Ace, he starts off like an asshole. He does. Like he cuts Rico in line, and then he ends up getting kind of punked, but throughout the film he ends up becoming cool with Rico, and then they end up becoming friends. to where he even kind of, after Rico gets broken up with, he fucking gives him some comforting words like a friend would do. And throughout the film, he's hooking up with Dina Meyer's character, who she's basically, she really likes Rico, like literally, like, because Rico even says he ends up joining because of her, because of Carmen. But she has a thing for him clearly throughout the film. They do end up hooking up, which, yeah, the co-ed shower scene. I mean, this is when movies just let women be hot. This wasn't this weird shit like we have now where they desexualize them. And I don't want to go into that, but it's just like they couldn't do this now. Just even that shit. They would make Carmen a Mary Sue. Like, it's just, I already in my head, I'm like, if they made this now, I can already see how they would do it. But yeah, I don't want to think about that. So, but, and then, so they end up attacking, and I love the scenes where you see the ships get destroyed. It's the ship battles are actually pretty fun for a '97 film. You don't get a lot of them. It's definitely more focused on them killing bugs and stuff, which I love. Unfortunately, Curtis's home planet, not Curtis's, fucking um, Rico's parents in Buenos Aires planet end up getting bombed, so they end up getting killed, which is sad. Like, they make you, like I said, make you feel for the characters. I really like the bug designs. They're iconic. When you think Starship Troopers, the bug designs and the arachnids designs are so iconic. Like you know what they are. I'm like, okay, that is from this movie. And yeah, I like it. Like, they look like they will fuck you up, man. Like, you don't want to be fucking near them. So I'm gonna jump ahead. They decide to attack the bug planet. It ends up going wrong. I think Curtis is her boyfriend, or Carmen's boyfriend. They end up getting stranded in the island. Rex and his team and the Roughnecks attack the planet. We get some cool bug battles. Unfortunately, this is here where Dina Meyer's character dies, which you feel bad for her. She fucking, yeah, she gets in pain. Like the kills are pretty brutal, man. Like, a guy gets fucking, because I think it was the arachnid, like the big ass one that like shoots like a flame thing, and it ends up like burning him alive. Like I mentioned, Raxus's death's pretty sad, and you like him throughout the movie because he's like the one, like, along with Clancy Brown, training them up. But he's actually like directly involved with them, like throughout like each scene. He's interacting with every one of them, so it's like when he dies, it hits. It's not just, oh, he's dead. No, like, it's like you actually feel it when he dies. Granted, you feel it in the sense too. It fucking gets like his leg chopped a bit off. So, like, they don't hold back on the gore in this movie. Like, I mean, I knew it was gory. Like, I knew there was gonna be blood and stuff. I just didn't remember it being that fucking gory. But yeah, they end up saving because they're looking for the brain bug, which is they think is the bug that's actually controlling them. Because I'm gonna be honest, brain bug's a fucking trip when you actually see what it looks like. Like, I really like that they try to make each bug look fucking different. Like, they didn't just make them all like look the same. Like, they actually, I love the creature designs in this. I love creature movies, so when you can give good creature designs, I'm definitely gonna always point it out. So yeah, the Roughnecks end up going in. Jenkins ends up showing up and capturing the brain bug along with his team. We get an awesome speech in the end. I think, yeah, Carmen and Rico get back together. Um, I love it. I love this movie. I love just the fact that like I said, you're part of the movie. It's not just you're watching a movie. Like, it's even like while you're watching the movie, there's parts where they do the ad thing again, like, and they place them in a perfect time. Like, because they could have easily spammed them and get to a point where it would have just gotten fucking annoying. To where, okay, can I just get back to the fucking movie? But like, no, they do it the right amount of times. Like, it really does make you feel like you're part of the movie. Like, they're asking the audience to join. Like, it's not just you're just watching a fucking simple film. I like that. I love the set design. I love the creature design. I think the effects largely look really good, especially compared to the fucking movie that I watched today in The Flash. That's fucking from this fucking year. Anyway, um, I love the characters, like each one. Like, even though, yeah, you feel bad for, like, Rico, Carmen breaks up with Rico, but I still like her character. I'm not like, oh, she broke up with him, fuck her. I still like her as a character. And you kind of, in your back of your head, kind of knew they're going to get back together anyway. Um, but yeah, like, overall, awesome characters. Dina Myers goes out like a badass. So does General Raxus. He goes out like a fucking G. So, Clancy Brown was great. That fucking scene. Because it was Ace. He was like saying like, "Oh, why don't we?" Because they were like throwing knives, and he was like wondering why are we throwing knives, and fucking, he just Clancy throws the knife at his hand, and he basically says, "If you don't, you can't use your hand. If your hand's on it, you can't push a button." Because basically that's what Ace Frehley was saying. You can't, we just have to push a button. So basically, he said like to prove a point. Um, he throws the knife at his hand. It was like, fuck, man. It's like, goddamn. Or that scene where I should have probably mentioned this in the review, but Rico getting fucking whipped. That was fucking yeesh. Like, because during a test, someone ends up dying or getting hurt. Not dying. I think they end up getting seriously hurt. So Rico has to pay for it. And yeah, he gets flogged, man. That shit sucks. And they like I said, they don't hold back from the violence. Even in the whip scene, like you see him just like the fucking marks just showing up with each hit. And then they have like the knife scene, like I said, like. But that was more funny though, because it's like you can't push a button if your hand don't work. Basically, it's like. Anyway, I love this movie. I'm happy. I'm diving back into That's why I'm kind of happy people are in a way that this game came out. The game that's everyone's playing now, because now it gave me an excuse to rewatch these movies. I haven't watched these in maybe like 10 years, maybe 10, 11. It's been a while. It's been a while. I think it may have been 10 or 11 years, something like that. Definitely gonna do two next week. It's gonna be fun. Those are pretty much, I'm almost gonna be going in blind again, watching them for the first time again, because I don't really remember the sequels. I more remember the first one. Like I probably wouldn't even remember the last time I watched the sequels. I think it may have been when I watched this one. Like I may have just watched them back to back and just don't remember. But hopefully maybe I'll come back when I rewatch it next week. But other than that, this movie is a 9.5 out of 10. I heavily recommend it. Even if you don't want to watch the sequels, this one can just kind of work as a one-off. They defeat the bugs. But I'm gonna give the sequels a chance. So, but other than that, tomorrow we're gonna roast the fuck out of Flash. The, the cameos. I'll spoil this thing. The cameos they fucking spam in the end, and the cameos don't even actually really have dialogue. They're just CGI fucking scenes of their world. Like, cause I'll give this flat. There's the two Flash basically open a bunch of multiverses, and they're almost like these. They're supposed to be like the world, these things that represent the worlds. And there's a scene where one of them, yeah, it's. I won't spoil who they are. At least not in this video. I'll save that for tomorrow. But it's just a bunch of cameos, and they're CGI. It's not even like they're like actually in the movie. Like, I'm not, Spider Verse. The fucking cameo, like, they're actually involved in the story. Even with No Way Home, even though I only watched the nostalgia parts, I never actually watched it all the way through. At least from the sounds of it, at least they're involved in the story. They didn't do that in this. It's just they're literally CGI. They're literally CGI. It's so bad. It's the fact that there's two fucking Ezra Millers, that was torture, man. Watching the two Ezra Millers interact, oh my fucking god. It wasn't too bad when he was by himself. Like when it started off, when he was just by himself, it was fine, I guess. it was when the other one really showed up. That's when it really took a turn for the worse. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow. But yeah. At least I watched Starship Troopers today to fucking cleanse myself of the fucking Flash. But anyway, I'll talk about that tomorrow. But cheers and I'm gonna peace out. As usual. Talk to y'all tomorrow.